obsessed with action, with doing, with making things happen, with hustle and grind. But what if everything you have been told about manifestation has been backwards? What if the very act of chasing your desires is the reason they remain out of reach? In the realm of quantum manifestation, this mentality doesn't just fail, it repels. Because quantum reality isn't linear. It doesn't respond to urgency, it responds to coherence. And coherence begins when your internal state reflects the reality you say you want. Think about it. Most people try to attract abundance while vibrating with the energy of lack. They visualize love while radiating loneliness. They affirm freedom while embodying fear. That contradiction? That is what the field responds to. Not the words, not the vision board, not the ritual.
Here is the twist no one talks about. Manifestation doesn't happen because you asked. It happens because you became. In quantum terms, the field, a matrix of infinite potential, is not moved by effort. It responds to resonance. That means your job is not to push, but to attune, to stop chasing and start becoming. This is where most people get stuck. They hear phrases like feel as if it is already done or be in the vibration of having, but it feels fake, out of reach. That is because they haven't yet understood the paradox. The state of allowing is the state that attracts. The observer effect in quantum mechanics shows that observation alters the outcome, but only when it is infused with expectancy, not desperation. When you observe reality through the lens of trust and knowing, the wave collapses into form. But when you observe through the lens of fear and urgency, the wave remains uncollapsed, just possibility, never reality. Let's pause here. This isn't about blame. It is about waking up to how your energy communicates with the universe. Imagine tuning a radio. If you are trying to listen to 98.7 FM while your dial is set to 88.1, it doesn't matter how much you want the music. You will never hear it unless you tune yourself first. That is what quantum manifestation is. Not asking the universe to deliver, but attuning to the frequency where that version of your life already exists.
This is where ancient wisdom and modern science converge beautifully. Neville Goddard spoke often about living from the end, embodying the emotional signature of your desired outcome before it manifests. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about how the brain and heart must be coherent, signaling to the quantum field a unified message of creation. Abraham Hicks calls it getting into the vortex, that emotional sweet spot where resistance melts and receiving begins. Different words, same truth. You must become the frequency of what you desire. Here is the real problem.
Simplicity scares the ego. We have been trained to believe that value comes through effort, that transformation requires pain, that progress demands hustle. But in the quantum world, it is the opposite. The more you chase, the more you affirm the absence. The more you try to force, the more you amplify resistance. That is why this message is so important. Because simplicity isn't sexy, it isn't marketable, it isn't dramatic, but it is where the shift begins. So let me say this clearly. The version of your life you desire already exists. In quantum theory, all possible outcomes already coexist. Your only job is to collapse into that reality, not by force, but by frequency. Not tomorrow, not when the money comes, not when the partner arrives, right now. That is when the field begins to respond.
If your external reality is a reflection, then what exactly is it reflecting? Most people approach manifestation with a to-do list. Visualize daily, repeat affirmations, write it down 10 times. And while these practices can be helpful, they often become mechanical, surface-level attempts to change a mirror without changing the face it reflects. The truth is, the quantum field doesn't respond to what you say, it responds to who you are being. And being is not performance. It isn't pretending to feel abundant while panicking about rent. It isn't saying you trust the universe while secretly obsessing over timelines. Being is alignment, a vibrational congruence between your inner world and the version of reality you want to experience. Think of it like this. Your thoughts are electric. Your emotions are magnetic. Together, they create an electromagnetic signature that broadcasts your state of being into the quantum field. That field, which holds every potential reality, begins to reorganize itself based on the signal you are sending, not what you want, but what you are. Let's break that down with an example. Suppose you desire a life of financial freedom. If you are constantly feeling anxious, checking your bank account, imagining worst-case scenarios, your electromagnetic signature is one of scarcity. And scarcity doesn't attract wealth. It magnetizes more scarcity. The field is not judging you. It is just reflecting your broadcast. Now here's the twist. The most powerful way to change your signal is not to chase a new future, but to embody it, to feel it now, to practice the frequency of your desired reality until it feels natural, not as a lie, but as a remembrance. Because somewhere in the infinite multiverse, that version of you already exists. And when you align with that version emotionally and mentally, you begin to collapse that possibility into reality.
This is not wishful thinking. Neuroplasticity shows us that the brain literally rewires itself through mental rehearsal. When you imagine a future event and bring up the emotion of it, gratitude, joy, peace, your brain begins to create the neural circuits as if it were already happening. Do that long enough, and your body becomes familiar with the future before it arrives. And when the body believes, the field responds. Neville Goddard taught this decades ago when he said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." He wasn't suggesting you fake it. He meant fuse with it. Let the feeling of your desired reality become more real than your current circumstances. Let it be so familiar that your nervous system calibrates to it. Because here is what most don't understand. Manifestation is not about asking the universe for a favor. It is about meeting the version of yourself who already lives that reality and bringing that version into the now. Not by effort, but by resonance. And when that resonance becomes consistent, the field mirrors it back as experience. There is a shift that happens when you stop waiting for signs and start becoming the sign. When you stop watching for synchronicities and start living in sync. That is when reality bends. That is when time seems to collapse. That is when things magically align. Not because of luck, but because of coherence.
In quantum mechanics, the act of observation collapses the wave function, turning a potential into reality. But not all observation is equal. Observation charged with trust and emotional clarity has more collapsing power than observation tainted by fear and doubt. So ask yourself, what version of reality are you consistently observing within? When people say, act as if, it isn't about faking confidence or pretending to be someone you are not. It is about stepping into the emotional posture of someone who already knows. Someone who is not waiting for proof, but embodying the evidence before it arrives. This is the beginning of mastering your frequency. And when you do, you don't attract reality. You become the gravity that pulls it in. Now that we understand, the quantum field doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are. The next step is to ask, how do you collapse the possibility into form? Quantum physics reveals that all potential realities exist in a state of superposition. Your dream job, your ideal relationship, your financial breakthrough, they are not distant hopes, but present potentials waiting to be chosen. But they don't become real simply because you think about them. They become real when your observation, your focused awareness, causes the wave to collapse. But not just any observation. This isn't a passive glance. The quantum field responds to emotionally charged focus, to observation laced with belief, trust, embodiment, and energetic alignment. When you feel your future as if it is already real,
you begin to imprint that version into the unified field. You don't chase it, you stabilize it. And in doing so, the universe responds. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that this process requires coherence, a synchronization between the brain and the heart. Most people live in mental chaos and emotional incoherence. Their thoughts want one thing, but their emotions communicate lack. Their actions are scattered, motivated by fear or doubt. And in that state, the field can't find a clear frequency to reflect. When your brain and heart enter coherence, your signal becomes stronger. You are no longer sending mixed messages. You are broadcasting a unified frequency of trust, gratitude, and certainty. The signature of someone who already is what they once hoped to become.
Once you begin to live from the end, not toward it, everything starts to change. But let's be honest, this is where most people get stuck. Not because they don't believe, but because they don't know how to become what they desire. They try to think their way into a new life without feeling it. They hope for change while embodying the same patterns. And the field doesn't respond to hope. It responds to energetic certainty. Quantum manifestation is not about thinking positively until something magically appears. It is about becoming a match to the timeline you are trying to access. That timeline, that version of you, already exists. You aren't building it from scratch. You are selecting it by aligning your energy to the frequency it broadcasts. How do you know you are aligning? You stop obsessing over the how. You stop chasing validation, signs, or guarantees. You become less reactive to the outer world and more attuned to your inner calibration. Abraham Hicks often says, "You can't get there from there," meaning you cannot manifest the version of you who is free, at peace, and fulfilled from a place of urgency, frustration, or lack. You have to start acting, choosing, and especially feeling as if you are already there. That is when something mysterious begins to happen. You start attracting different thoughts, not the ones you try to think, but the ones that belong to that version of you. Your intuition sharpens. You sense new paths opening. The synchronicities become bolder. Reality becomes more fluid. Time bends in strange ways. It is as if life is accelerating to meet you. Let's speak directly to your subconscious for a moment, because there is a reason this message is reaching you right now. You have likely felt that your manifestations take too long, that maybe something is blocking them, that perhaps you are doing it wrong. But here is the truth. You have always been closer than you think. The very fact that you are listening to this now is proof that your field is ready to shift. You are not broken. You are not behind. You don't need to chase anything.
You need to stabilize the version of you who no longer chases, the one who knows, the one who walks with quiet certainty and grounded magnetism. That version of you already exists, and every moment you choose to remember that, you collapse the distance between now and your desire. So let this be the moment you stop trying and start remembering. Let this be the moment you embody the version of you who lives as if it is already done. Let this be the quantum event where you shift from waiting to becoming. And now, here is something powerful to anchor this shift. If this message is resonating, if you feel the stirrings of your next level aligning, comment 777 below. Why 777? Because in numerology and spiritual traditions, 777 is considered the number of divine alignment. It is a vibrational code that symbolizes that your path is unfolding exactly as it should. When you see 777, it isn't just a sign, it is a mirror, a reflection that your internal reality is syncing with your higher potential, a confirmation that your manifestation is not only valid, it is already vibrating in your field. So when you type 777, you aren't just engaging, you are activating. You are becoming a node of resonance for what you are ready to receive. And in doing so, you amplify the frequency, not just for you, but for everyone reading this. That is how the field works. It multiplies what we affirm together. So go ahead, type 777 in the comments. Watch who else does. Watch what happens in your field after this. Consider this your signal to the universe. I no longer chase, I attract because I already am.
The universe speaks quietly when it delivers what you have already claimed. A shift in breath, a sudden peace, a knowing. So now, I ask you, what if the change you have been waiting for is waiting for you to finally stop waiting? What if your next timeline is watching you right now, waiting for the signal that says, I'm ready, let's collapse the distance? Manifestation is not a performance. It is a living practice. In the comments, leave your 777 signal. Anchor it down. And if you are ready to stop chasing and start engineering your reality, subscribe to the laboratory. Keep tuning. Keep aligning. Welcome to Quantum Core.